On this Meet Your Military Monday, I am joined by Colonel Alexis Perez-Cruz. Now, you are the brigade commander for the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you.
Thanks, Haley. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about your position with the 3rd ID, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'm the 2nd Brigade commander for 3rd Infantry Division, which means I'm in charge of about roughly 4,000 soldiers. So best and brightest America has to offer. We have about 7 battalions. We have everything from tanks to Bradley fighting vehicles, infantrymen, engineers, people who do communications, and as well as everything from we have cooks to logistics folks. So it's a great organization, and I'm very proud to be a member of it and to lead them.
Absolutely. So now you mentioned you all just recently returned from a deployment earlier this year. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the brigade came back from a deployment, redeployed from Europe. So they were everywhere from Lithuania, Poland, Germany, really reinforcing our allies. And it was really strengthening our ties with NATO across the force in Eastern Europe and Germany. We did everything from train with our NATO partners out in Estonia to, as well as conduct live fires in Germany. And it was a great experience for everyone. I was not the commander at the time. I just took command, but I was in Europe during that same period of time, so I got to link up with the brigade and the division as they were out there as well.
Now, it's my understanding that you all have been utilized quite a bit over the past couple of years for different deployments. So how does it feel, knowing that our country turns to you all at Fort Stewart in times like this?
That's a good question. For us, what we'll say is that's our mission. So 3rd Infantry Division, in my particular job, the 2nd Brigade, we are a rapid deployable armor brigade, and there's only 2 rapid deployable armor brigades in the 18th Airborne Corps. So out of the 4 divisions in the 18th Airborne Corps, when the U.S. and our allies need some combat power in form of tanks, we're the ones they call. So we always have to be prepared. It's kind of fight tonight is our mentality. And being part of the 18th Airborne Corps, it's a pleasure to be that, but also it's an honor to know that if we needed 911 sort of a call, it'll be us that gets it. And for me, it's a huge badge of honor that I wear.
And speaking of readiness, you mentioned that you guys will definitely be doing some training here soon. Talk to me a little bit about that and maybe what some of our viewers at home can experience if they live near post.
Yeah, so if they live near post, what they'll hear is that they're going to hear quite a few booms in the distance. So we're going to have tanks and Bradley. So Bradleys are the smaller, for those that don't know, the smaller sort of looking tanks, but they're infantry fighting vehicles and cavalry vehicles that fire 25 millimeter cannons. We're also going to shoot the 155 artillery munition, so they'll hear some of that. But overall, what they're hearing is just normal training that we do to get our folks ready. So it's part of our daily lives over the cycle of a unit is we train at the lowest level, ensuring that everybody understands how to shoot, how to communicate, and how to move around. And we do that in over 200,000 acres we have out in Fort Stewart.
And now you all do long stints of training at a time, I understand. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so for us, this particular period of time, we're going to do about 30 days. I mean, I think we get a 4-day in there, but it's 30 days out in the field where we're training, and we're training to simulate the effects that we would have in the battlefield as though we were deploying somewhere else. So Fort Stewart, although it's right there, we can deploy out to the field, stay for 30 days, and do the same type of scenarios as though we're going somewhere else. That helps us get our readiness level to a higher level, and it helps our soldiers understand what it takes to be a part of the 18th Airborne Corps and 3rd Infantry Division.
And you have a bit of a personal connection to Fort Stewart as well. Kind of tell me a little bit about that. You mentioned it feels like a second home to you, so I'd like to hear more about that.
Sure. So Fort Stewart is the first place that I came to when we moved from Puerto Rico back when I was, I think, 5 or 6. My dad's a retired sergeant major, so I actually learned English at Diamond Elementary at Fort Stewart, Georgia. I came back right after college as well as a lieutenant. Actually, then it was 3rd Brigade out at Fort Moore, which was part of 3rd Infantry Division. I came back again to be a battalion commander. I've served in different positions in the 3rd Infantry Division, and my dad was in the 3rd Infantry Division twice. So for me, this is a second home. It's really home, I feel like we're a part of this community in a big way.
And speaking of that, how important is it, that members of your brigade are a part of the community here in coastal Georgia?
So it's a very big deal for us that they're part of coastal Georgia. I mean, for us, it is a huge privilege to be stationed in coastal Georgia. I mean, you have so many wonderful things here. My favorite being the beach, and I think we talked about that. Haley and I both love the beach. You're close to Florida. Everybody loves going to Disney. So I think as a kid, that's what we always kind of thought, oh, you're in Fort Stewart, so we're going to go close to Disney. It's not that, it's a couple hours drive in the big scheme of things. But really, it's a beautiful place to be. Savannah, everything from Jekyll Island to going up to Hilton Head. It's a wonderful place to be stationed. It's a wonderful place to be a member of the community, and the community really embraces us, and we really do enjoy being here.
Yeah. Now, is there anything else you want people to know about the Spartan Brigade, or anything else that you wanted to touch on?
So I guess for everyone, for Spartan Brigade, I mean, 4,000 plus soldiers and their families. So probably a little bit under 20,000 folks from all over the country, all the territories. We also have young men and women who are immigrants, and even with a green card, they've joined the military to sacrifice and deploy and protect the United States of America. So what the communities know is we are here for them. We have become part of the community. We're always going to be a part of the community. And we have the best and brightest in our brigade who are going to be great members of our community here in the coastal Georgia area.
Absolutely. Well, Colonel Perez-Cruz, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your service as well.
Thank you, Haley. Thanks for having us, and I appreciate being here.